Testing and tools. Now let's walk through some of the testing and tools available directly on the panel interface. There are system tests for every onboard radio, and some additional tests have also been developed. The next few slides will discuss some of the most important ones. The Wi-Fi test page ensures a good connection to the router. It does not ensure that you actually have an internet connection. To ensure outside internet is available, check Advanced Settings, About, and Wi-Fi for more information. Then ensure that the internet shows Available. The sensor test is an amazing tool that makes the invisible visible. It includes a traditional packet count function, but also measures the actual dBm from each sensor. This is all viewed from a simple summary screen, allowing the technician to walk test the premise, tripping each sensor along the way, then returning to the panel to get detailed results. For a more detailed view, each sensor can be plotted on a graph where they are measured against the ambient RF noise floor. This test works for all legacy SRF frequencies like 319.5 MHz, 345 MHz, and 433 MHz. Get it right before you leave the home. When viewing each sensor in graph mode, all open-close and supervisory events are plotted. This allows an installer to view the relative signal strength of each event and reposition the sensor, move the panel, or add a repeater, if necessary, in order to keep it above the yellow line. The yellow line represents a dBm level where signal strength is poor and potential RF failures could occur. This line dynamically adjusts to 12 dB above the ambient RF noise floor in the environment. The red line represents a dBm level where signal strength is critical and RF failures are likely to occur. This line dynamically adjusts to 6 dB above the ambient noise floor in the environment. The PowerG test is different than the legacy SRF test. We don't yet have graphing and noise floor available, but we can actually ping the sensor from the panel and request the signal strength from the sensor. This speeds up testing and doesn't require an actual open-close event to record as a result. Results are color-coded as well to make it easier. Strong equals green, good equals yellow, poor equals red. Depending on the sensor, you can also perform other tests like request a picture from the PowerG Peer Cam or test the sensor's LEDs. Understanding Z-Wave networking. Z-Wave is a mesh network where signals from devices can hop like stepping stones from one to another. In this example, we'll show you how to create a path from the panel to the door lock using other devices in the network. We'll also show you what happens when the thermostat connection is lost, how the network breaks, and how having other devices on the network can create a possible alternative route. Remember that in general, devices that operate on battery only, locks and sometimes thermostats, will not act as repeaters in your network. In general, devices that will have constant power, lights and sometimes thermostats, etc., will act as repeaters in the network. Rediscover network. This is a very important tool that should be used after adding Z-Wave devices to the panel. This is what maps the mesh network and creates an efficient route for devices. This tool should also be used whenever devices are added, deleted, or moved. Neighbor info. This tool is used after Rediscover network and shows you the overlap in the network. The more neighbor nodes, the better the network will be. Having more neighbors creates more possible routes back to the panel. Counters. The Counters app is a great way to see empirical data on how well the network is performing. It keeps track of acknowledged versus failed commands for each individual node in the network. This is very helpful when troubleshooting to see how well a device is working over time. The goal is to have a 98% efficient network. Z-Wave diagnostics. This tool shows a graphical representation of the last working route of the Z-Wave network. To use this tool, first run a rediscovery, then second send a command to every device to control it, on off, up down, lock unlock, etc. And then 3, come back to the Z-Wave diagnostics app. The map will show the route that was last taken and the signal strength of that device. This allows you to see the mesh that's been created and the actual routes being taken. The panel test is a great test to run at the end of an install. It automatically verifies that the key components of the system are running and tests things like arming and disarming, the panel camera, photos, help videos, Wi-Fi connection, logging ability, and more.